Hey, Spike me, or do you want to on it? It's me, Spike1000 here, coming into another video. In this video, I am doing my only video this week, and this video, didn't really take that long, to be completely fair. This video, like the title suggests, I turn SAO characters into elementals. So, yeah, I really like the design, so without further ado, let's roll the intro, let's get into this video, and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, so, well, it's me, Yin Yang, coming back at y'all. And it's about time I do another round of elementals. It's been a while, so this is going to be really interesting. Namely because of the fact that these elementals have only been recently discovered, and I'm really the only one who knows that much about them. And I'm still questioning a few things about them. This first one is known as is a water elemental known as the Icy Sword Knight. The common name is Icy Sword Knight for people who know about them. They, like the name suggests, they are made of ice, but not fully. They have body parts coated in ice. Their main body, their chest, talking about their entire upper chest, and entire abdomen, to be more accurate, and a little bit of their upper arms. One arm is actually a sword, which is how it gets its name, the knight bit, because, well, it resembles that of a knight's sword. And the other arm is a knight's metal glove made of ice, and the metal pants are ice as well. But the interesting thing is it has a mouth guard. Now, no reason why, but maybe this gives it more of a noble appearance, from what I can tell. Now, like most water elementals, it has red eyes, like most elementals in general. But this thing has a few interesting abilities. One, in the fact that its sword can actually be plunged into the ground and cause ice to erupt around it, even if there's no water nearby. So yeah, the magical capabilities of one of these things is astounding. And another ability of it is to freeze opponents in place and give them frostbite. But then again, these things are, like the name already said, are quite honorable and will usually help people. But if you're someone like a ruffian or a thug, and they see you harming someone within their area, for the record, they are known to travel around the world when it's cold out and with the winter months, and help people that way. But they're mostly known to stay in groups, stay in villages of water elementals, and, well, just be very helpful to their one community. But sometimes there's kingdoms that bring them on that have been near them, that have been spread up near them, and by bring them on, I mean like these guys usually are drawn toward the kingdoms because of just the kingdoms being a kingdom and for them to serve a king. But they will overthrow the king if they see it fit, if the king is a bad guy. So let's get to the next one. This next one is an air elemental, and it is able to shape its arms into guns. Yeah, You heard me right. Guns. Creature name is Air Elemental Air Guns. Doesn't sound so harmless, right? And the most common name is, well, air guns. That's where you're sadly mistaken. These things are actually known to be snipers and to pretty much blow people's brains out. Like, turn your brain into new wall painting levels of accurate and deadly. They are mostly known to do this in the wild up against predators that are coming after them for magic. Sometimes, what was it? What was the term? I forget that term that people, poachers. The poachers that come after them use anti-air magic, which is an anti-air container, which allows you to trap an air elemental within it, and it's not able to use its magic or any abilities to get out, and uses its sniping abilities to, well, pretty much disappear into the wind. But they're also quite notably known to be able to shoot pretty accurately. That's because what they're mostly is after is one of their eyes, known as the targeting crystal eyes. It's always accurate. Now, unless it's having to hit another air elemental or something that can teleport, it always never misses. So yeah, but due to the fact that it's an air elemental and it has crystal eyes, and especially one that can make you never miss a target if you're wearing it, you would see why they are pretty sought after. But then there's the ability to shift their hands into other guns. Like I say, they're most notably known for snipers, but they're also able to shift into assault rifles, pistols, and a few others. They are also able to shoot air bullets, which, like the name suggests, are pressurized air and solidified. It's actually little bits of them. Once the bullet hits someone, it disperses, and eventually the air will just come back to them. Hence the reason why they never run out of ammo. But there is every now and again when there stops a chance for their gun to jam, which would make sense. But that's very rare because they're literally air elementals. The wind in them really never stops. The only way you can really see an air elemental is from their eyes. You gotta shoot the opposite eye to take them out. I learned that the hard way. Well, more or less. They are sentient creatures, and I did it by accident for the first time I saw one. It was targeting a creature behind me. I thought it was pointing right at me. So, yeah, I'm lucky I brought the thing back to life. And, well, let's just get to the next one. This next one is actually a fire elemental, and a pretty interesting one at that. Standing at 6 feet tall of all heights, and it's known as the Flaming Samurai. Yeah, you're right, Flaming Samurai. One arm is a metal blade, and the other is your standard golem claw, weirdly enough. And it has some armor with different colored rocks, just different colorations of hardened magma. But it does have the original body of a fire elemental. You know, some parts that are magma red, but not as hot. Just saying. And the fire here and the fire connecting its joints. The armor-ish looking pieces, or its lower legs, a little side part on their upper legs, their chest. They actually have a little red armored piece on their head, and their upper arms. And weirdly enough, the sword on one arm is actually a good chunk of the upper bit of it is actually armored. So yeah, goes to show that these things are pretty well protected. But there is a few places you can still defeat them easily with water. But matter of factly enough, these things burn at such high temperatures, you need magical water in order to pretty much even have a chance of putting out their fire. They're also known to be relatively speedy and fast. They are also really dangerous in general. Now, something else is that they are really, really aggressive. They are known to in a fight they're known to be aggressive if you don't follow the samurai code of conduct. Sorry, I was trying to think of why they are aggressive, but usually they're relatively friendly, and they would usually listen to the oldest samurai in their group. But sometimes if someone could best them in a fight, that person will become their new master. So, yeah. It is really interesting what they are capable of. Like I already stated, they are really fast and really strong in general. They are able to, that's because of their lightweight and the ability to use their flames. And weirdly enough, they don't really use the flames on their sword, unless it's for dire circumstances. Now, let's get to the next one. Now, this next one is was originally a fire elemental, but they eventually turn into a different elemental type, earth elemental. Weirdly enough, known as the Obsidian dual blade. Obsidian dual blades are former fire elementals, so they are pretty hot to the touch. But they're also relatively strong. They stand up to be around 7 feet tall, and like the name suggests, they have 2 blades, one on each hand. They don't have actual hands. Matter of factly, they have 2 metal blades attached to them. I've tested it, and they're actually magical. Magical steel. One is black and one's a bluish color. They're mostly found roaming the mountains in Japan. And they are really strong. And these magical blades are, and for the record, I kind of debated whether or not this should be a multi-elemental, which are really rare, but still possible. But I decided against it. And this motherfucker has the ability to control both ice and earth. Yeah, ice and earth. So stupidly strong. And the reason why I didn't put it as a dual elemental type is because of the fact that it's mostly an earth elemental. It just has the ability to use ice magic in the other blade. Its 2 eye crystals are actually a dark blackish blue color. Same with the blade, just a little bit lighter-ish or darker-ish, I can't really tell. Now, if you look closely enough, you can actually see cracks on their skin, on, the rocky exterior. They're also very, very heavily armored, weighing a staggering 2 tons for an elemental of their size. That's quite light, but by an elemental standard, it's quite average. But they are, the reason why they're so heavily armored is because the obsidian is actually really thick and magically enhanced. So, yeah. They also thrive in dual blading contact. They are known to sometimes challenge the flaming samurai to a duel. They usually just become friends after that. And trust me, it ain't really that pretty sometimes. Especially their special attacks or Starburst Stream. It's a really powerful attack. Let's get to the next one. this next one is something relatively interesting. It's another water elemental, but the fact is that it's a forger of elemental blades, weirdly enough. By that, I mean it can forge elemental blades easily. The only one it has hard times making are fire elemental blades, because they're a water elemental. They're known as forged in water. Yes, you heard me. Forged in water. It's a rip-off name of Forged in Fire. Really good at smithing show. And I actually have one of these things, and one of these water elementals. And it literally has reruns of Forged in Fire previous episodes running in its free time. It just sits there watching it. Its name is Beth, and it refers to be called a she, whereas usually elementals don't really have a name. I gave her a name, which she's usually able to speak, but she's using magic to speak because elementals don't really have a mouth. And like usual water elementals, like I was saying, like usual elementals, they are nearly see-through. But they are able to condense the water in them to become more solid and non-see-through. They use this advantage to cause ice to form, and they are actually really talented with the mace. She's actually a prodigy with using a mace. Hence the reason why she tries forging other blades. She actually managed to forge me an ice blade, which is something I still have to this day. She forged it around 100 years ago, and it still works really well. I use it against something like a medieval fire elemental that was a real pain in the butt to deal with. And trust me when I say their elemental blades, even the fire ones, are really, really powerful. They're known to be sold really high prices. They're actually quite common, but they are kept a secret and charged at high prices because they don't want average people getting a hold of such dangerous weapons. But in reality, they are really powerful, but they're really easy to control, depending on how adept you are with magic. If you're not really that adept, you're going to have to learn swordsmanship and how to control water elementals or whatever elemental blade you got really quickly and really, really, really effectively. Since I was born with a natural gift for all magic, thanks to my dad, the Overseer, I am really adept with using any type of magic at all. Just some magical attacks take a lot more out of me than others. Okay, now the last one of today I'm going over is actually a relatively honorable and very fast elemental. They're a fire elemental known as Rapier Fire Speeds. Rapier Fire Speed, or its most common name, like you could have guessed. They are known to have orangey gold, reddish stripes on their upper arms, which is more like a mid-range arm because the fire is actually more or less lower down than usual. And on one arm, they have a oddly shaped an oddly shaped katana, but it's more or less actually a rapier. It's just missing the back piece, so it's made for fencing. Trust me, and the most of their upper abdomen is actually a lightish gray-white color. Same with the upper arms, minus those stripes that actually come out to be a V shape, and their lower legs. They don't have any upper legs, weirdly enough, and this gives them the range of mobility they got now. And they are very, very effective in using their fire to boost their own speed. Now, like I already stated, they are really keen with using their fire, but they don't really use it much else. Some of them are so fast, it appears that they're using lightning. But I've checked, and the after scorches aren't as hot as lightning. Matter of fact, they're not even nearly as hot as lightning. They have a lot longer flaming hair than most other elementals. And sometimes we can get a crossbreed between a Obsidian dual blade and a rapier fire speed. So they can have a. Imagine how powerful the hybrid is. It's a earth fire elemental. So yeah. Matter of factly, I think I actually know of two human elementals that actually have a child like that, named Asuna and Kito. Well, that's his cover name, and his real name is Kazuto Kitakaya, but he just prefers to be called Kito. He's a very talented swordsman, along with his girlfriend, and, well, Naya wife. My brother knows them too. Now, that's all for today. Well, I'm afraid that's all the time I got for today's video. Until next time, subscribe today to join the Spy Coast Army or the Master Alliance. Goodbye, and peace out, everyone.